Imagine a workplace where feedback flows freely, without fear or hesitation. That's the magic of anonymous feedback channels, a tool that's transforming the way that leaders interact with their teams. So what's the buzz about anonymous feedback channels? Let's unravel that mystery. Anonymous feedback allows individuals to express their thoughts, feelings, or wants without the fear of repercussions. It's like having a secret suggestion box where ideas and issues flow freely and can be shared openly. And the real magic about it is improved communication. When team members can share their feedback anonymously, it opens up a direct line to leadership, fostering a culture of honesty and transparency. But it's not just about receiving that feedback and setting up a secret suggestion box. It's about how you respond to the feedback as a leader. Leaders who can embrace anonymous feedback and respond can feel a little bit like a superhero with secret listening powers, where you can see into people's minds and what they're really thinking. Then you can respond, hopefully adapt, and make your team feel valued. However, in my view, it's not just about embracing anonymous feedback where everybody puts their feedback forward. It's about openly sharing that feedback. What would happen if you didn't just ask for the anonymous feedback, but in turn shared all that anonymous feedback? During my 17 years in leadership, I have worked in organisations that have embraced anonymous feedback. These were usually through surveys that measured something such as engagement. These surveys can provide really good context to what's happening for people in the organisation, and if they include free text, such as asking what could be improved or what has gone well, it gives a good indication of what employees are wanting and what they've appreciated that has been put in place already. So it helps form direction for new initiatives. I think it is helpful when you have a significant number of employees, particularly if you do it in a structure that helps measure it over time. So it's not done on an ad hoc basis, but within a rhythm, so you can really utilise that information and see how things that have been put in place have then been embedded across the organisation. The number of participants is also an important factor, as if you only get a few staff that respond to it, then the participation rate probably isn't significant enough to really determine what's going on for people and what's working well. Whereas if you get 85% participation rate, you know that the vast majority of people have responded and given their feedback. And if you see that 40% of those people have all commented along the same lines of one particular thing, then that is capturing a trend that is worth spending your time on. Now that's all well and good, but I think the real value comes from sharing those responses openly, so everyone can get a true sense of the feedback and what their colleagues might be feeling and thinking. This would require a way of doing it so that everybody remains anonymous. If you have a team of 5, it could be pretty hard to keep everybody anonymous, which could temper what people feel that they can say openly and skew your results somewhat. A larger team though could do this and could perhaps post the comments or feedback somewhere in an open forum so everybody can read them with no identifying information, and then you could categorise those into themes. Various large companies have implemented anonymous feedback with great results to encourage open communication and gather insight from their teams. Google is known as its commitment to creating a transparent and open culture. They utilise tools such as Google, obviously, surveys, and have anonymous feedback channels to feedback on things such as leadership, work environment, and company policies. Microsoft also use a variety of platforms and tools to gather anonymous feedback, and have really strongly emphasised that they really encourage their employees to provide true, honest feedback without any repercussions, helping maintain a culture of openness and continuous improvement. While anonymous feedback can provide some really good insight, it can also be a double-edged sword, potentially causing challenges and some controversy. Some aspects that you may or may not want to consider include a potential issue around the fact that it is anonymous feedback, and what some individuals may be inclined to do could sometimes lead to abuse or misuse, with employees expressing grievances without giving real context or constructive solutions. This can create quite a lot of distraction for leaders who are trying to interpret that feedback and no doubt could be at the back of their minds thinking, well, who's that? Who said that? Hey, leaders aren't robots. Nothing like some pointed, harsh and borderline abusive anonymous comments to get us riled up. It can also cause questions around authenticity and the motivation behind those comments, which can create uncertainty and damage trust. The other issue that can arise is the interpretation of the feedback that is received. So this could lead to some disagreements about the severity or the validity of what was raised. Managers and employees may interpret those results differently, leading to debates about the actual impact and importance of those issues raised. This can also impact on morale, as can negative or critical feedback. The other area of concern is that anonymous feedback may touch on sensitive issues such as harassment or bullying in the workplace, or organisational practices that could lead to legal implications. Balancing the need for transparency and addressing serious concerns while maintaining confidentiality can be really challenging. But it can also be the best thing for the organisation if there is true underlying behaviour such as that happening within the company. Effectively managing controversial feedback requires striking a balance between addressing valid concerns, ensuring a fair and transparent process, and preventing the misuse of the fact it's anonymous. Organisations may need to establish quite clear guidelines for handling such feedback and still fostering a sense of open communication so that everybody feels heard and comfortable to raise concerns. I think that anonymous feedback is a great idea, and I feel it can help encourage those people that perhaps don't feel comfortable speaking up or don't want to have a full conversation about something but are concerned about it, or also equally might want to express their appreciation for something that has been put in place. What do you think? Would it create too much gossip and controversy in your working space? Or do you think teams would embrace the opportunity to be heard and create a mechanism for positive change? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for listening. See you in the next one.